Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a really interesting relationship dilemma that's got a lot of layers. This one comes from a user who asks, am I the jerk for how I responded after my boyfriend opened our relationship but then got mad because he couldn't get any dates? It's a tricky situation, so let's unpack it together. So, here's the story. My boyfriend, let's call him Mark, and I have been together for 3 years. We've always had a solid relationship, or so I thought. A few months ago, Mark came to me with a proposal. He said he loved me, but he felt we were settling down too young and that he wanted to explore a bit more before fully committing. He suggested we open our relationship. Now, I was completely thrown off. The thought of him being with someone else was painful, and honestly, it felt like a step backward. I told him I wasn't comfortable with it and that I was happy with our monogamous relationship. But Mark was persistent. He framed it as a way to make our bond stronger in the long run, assuring me it wasn't about leaving me, but about personal growth. He said it would be fair that we'd both have the same freedom. After weeks of discussion, feeling pressured and wanting to make him happy, I reluctantly agreed. I felt like if I said no, he'd resent me or break up with me anyway. We set some ground rules. Be safe, be honest about seeing other people, and never bring anyone back to our shared apartment. So, with a heavy heart, I adjusted to our new reality. I decided that if this was our new normal, I might as well try to make the best of it. I updated my profile on a dating app just to see what would happen. I was honest about being in an open relationship, and to my complete surprise, I got a lot of interest. I went on a few dates, just coffee, nothing serious, and I was always upfront with Mark about it, just like we agreed. The guys I met were respectful and interesting, and it was actually a small boost to my self-esteem, which had taken a huge hit when Mark first proposed this idea. Meanwhile, Mark was having the complete opposite experience. He was on all the apps trying to find dates, but he was getting absolutely nowhere. He complained that women either were uninterested in an open relationship or just didn't reply to his messages. He'd spend hours swiping, getting more and more frustrated. At first, I was sympathetic. I'd listen to him vent and try to be supportive, saying things like, the right person will come along, or maybe it just takes time. But as weeks turned into a month, and then 2, his frustration started to turn into resentment directed at me. He started making snide comments whenever I mentioned I had a coffee date planned. He'd say things like, must be nice to have it so easy, or why are you even bothering? Aren't I enough for you? This was so hypocritical because he was the one who pushed for this. He was the one who wasn't satisfied with just me. The tipping point came last weekend. I was getting ready to meet a friend for a walk. A platonic friend I've known for years, mind you, and Mark just blew up. He accused me of flaunting my success in his face. He yelled that this whole open relationship thing was a mistake and that I was clearly enjoying it too much. He said he felt like he was being replaced and that I didn't care about his feelings at all. I was stunned. I finally had enough. I looked him straight in the eye and said, hold on. This was your idea. You pushed for this. Even when I said I was happy with us, I was miserable at first, but I tried to adapt to the situation you created. The fact that you're not getting dates and I am is not my fault. Maybe you should have thought about the potential consequences before you decided to gamble with our relationship. He got even angrier, called me a heartless jerk, and stormed out. He's been sleeping on the couch ever since, barely speaking to me. He's acting like I'm the villain, like I orchestrated this whole thing to hurt him. He's completely rewriting history. ignoring the fact that he was the one who wasn't happy with what we had. So now I'm left wondering, was I the jerk for how I responded? I feel like I just stated the facts, but maybe it was too harsh. He's clearly hurting, but his pain is the direct result of his own actions and insecurities. It feels like he expected to have a line of dates waiting for him while I sat at home, patiently waiting for him to have his fun. When reality didn't match his fantasy, he couldn't handle it, and now he's blaming me. What do you all think? Was my response justified, or should I have been more gentle with his bruised ego? This situation has really opened my eyes to some deep-seated issues, and I'm not sure where we go from here. Wow. Okay, let's take a deep breath because there is a lot to break down here. First and foremost, to the person who wrote this, you are absolutely not the jerk. Not even close. Let's be crystal clear about that. Your response wasn't harsh, it was honest. And it was a necessary reality check for your boyfriend. Let's look at the timeline of events. Mark initiated this entire scenario. He was the one who felt a need to explore, which is often a softer way of saying he wanted to see other people without the consequences of a breakup. You were content. You were secure in the relationship. He was the one who introduced instability and insecurity into the dynamic. He pressured you into a situation you were explicitly uncomfortable with. That right there is a major red flag. A partner who truly respects you does not corner you into changing the fundamental structure of your relationship against your will. It seems Mark had a very specific fantasy in mind. In his version of events, he would be the one successfully exploring, having new experiences, and getting an ego boost. He likely envisioned you as a stable, comforting home base to return to. Perhaps a little sad, but ultimately waiting for him. He never considered the possibility that you would also participate, and certainly not that you would be more successful at it than him. The dating world can be very different for men and women, especially in the context of open relationships. Statistically, women often receive more attention on dating apps. Mark seems to have learned this the hard way, and his ego couldn't take the hit. Instead of reflecting on why he pushed for this in the first place or dealing with his own disappointment, he projected his failure and frustration onto you. His anger isn't really about you going on dates. It's about his own rejection. He's not mad that you're in an open relationship. He's mad that the open relationship isn't working out the way he wanted it to for him. His accusations are a classic case of deflection. Accusing you of enjoying it too much is deeply manipulative. He created the rules of the game, and now that he's losing, he's trying to flip the board and blame you for playing. Your response was perfect. It was a calm, factual statement of what happened. You didn't yell, you didn't name call. You simply held up a mirror to his behavior. He called you a heartless jerk because the truth was too uncomfortable for him to face. He wanted you to coddle his ego, to apologize for not being as miserable as he was. But that is not your responsibility. You are not responsible for managing his emotions when he is the architect of his own disappointment. So, where do you go from here? His reaction has revealed a significant lack of maturity, respect, and self-awareness. He gambled with your relationship, and when he lost, he tried to make you pay for it. This goes deeper than just the open relationship experiment. It speaks to how he handles disappointment and conflict. A healthy partner would have been able to say, "You know what? I was wrong. This was a bad idea. I'm not happy, and I'm sorry for putting you through this. Can we go back to how things were?" Instead, he's trying to guilt trip you and make you the villain. I think you need to have a very serious conversation about the future of this relationship. Do you want to be with someone who pressures you into things you don't want and then blames you for the consequences? This isn't just about an open relationship anymore. It's about a fundamental lack of respect. You deserve a partner who values you and the relationship you have, not one who sees you as a safety net, while he tries to have his cake and eat it too. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have any of you been in a similar situation? How did you handle it? Your insights could be incredibly helpful for the original poster and for others watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this discussion helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.